Good afternoon, everybody. It's Alison Hitchen here. First of all, I want to say a massive thank you to all of you that are watching this hangout. I'm joined today by my lovely team member, Jayne Miller. I'm in sunny
Hello.
Cheshire in the UK. And Jayne, where are you again? Derby, is it?
I'm in Derby in the East Midlands in the UK, just bang smack in the middle.
Cool. And what's the weather like over there? Because it's lovely and sunny here.
Sunny, 82 degrees, sun shining, absolutely gorgeous. I don't understand why it's gone wrong up there north.
So everybody, the reason that we want to do this hangout, first of all, just to let you know, we will not be selling you anything, so please don't go off and think that we're going to be selling you anything, because we're not. The aim of doing this hangout, which we'll be doing weekly, is that we want to do it as in a loose women type of event, where we'll have a certain topic that we'll be chatting about, and we'd love to have your views on what types of topics you'd want to be debating. So who needs loose women? People from the UK will know who I'm on about. When you've got Alison and Jayne, you don't need them. Just come to us. We'll be able to help and entertain you. So I just wanted to give a brief introduction about myself, and then I'll pass it over to Jayne. My name is Alison Hitchen. I am from the UK, over in Cheshire. I came onto online marketing, which is what we're going to be talking about, and the topic today is going to be the benefits of running an online business. I came on in July last year. Never had any previous experience in online marketing before, didn't know what I was doing, but decided to link myself with a great mentor, and within my first month I was doing a full-time income. Within 3 months I was out in New York at a leaders event, and recently, just recently in January, I've started another online business, and last week was announced as number 16 in the business. Bearing in mind, I had no previous network marketing experience, online experience whatsoever, and all I did was follow training. So Jayne, do you want to explain a little bit about you and how long have you been in online marketing?
Yeah, sure. Well, I started quite differently to you, Alison, and in fact Nat was only 3 at the time and he's now 9. And I worked in the corporate PLC world here in the UK, and made the choice really to take the route of redundancy as opposed to going back to work full time, because I really wanted to work from home, really wanted to be able to look after Nat, and really wanted to enjoy being a mum to him, you know, rather than being a high taxpayer here in the UK and end up paying somebody else to look after Nat. So I made that choice, but what was I going to do? So I started off my own offline business, still in the niche that I used to work in, which was in the construction new homes industry. And anyway, I started off with a business partner, and anyway, absolutely hated it. Hated the type of work that was involved. Absolutely hated having to deal with managing people and the HR side of that. And really understood quite quickly that what I really wanted to do was grow my offline business online, and then go my own separate ways by doing something else. Still something where I could work from home and take care of Nat. And that's what I did. And actually 3 years ago, I linked in with a very well-known company online, and really went through their educational training program to learn how to get my offline business launched online. And that's exactly what I did do. And a year into that, realised that there was a great opportunity to actually pass this information on to other people who had been in the situation as me, not just business owners who wanted to launch their business online, but also perhaps parents, mums or dads that were sick and tired of being on the corporate wheels of motion, if you like, and get set on doing something for themselves, which would mean that they could spend more time with their family and friends. So I started looking at that as my business, to be able to pass on what I'd learned to other people, to help other people be able to afford the same luxury that I was now able to do. And as time progressed, you know, I've been involved in a couple of different opportunities, but always looking out for the right opportunity that's going to help a certain few people. And, you know, the business that we're currently in at this moment in time, it's such a very simple business, because the type of business that I love is where you're able to just talk to people and make friends with people and hang out doing what we're doing today.
Yeah.
You know, for all those people out there, Alison and I haven't actually met yet, have we, Alison?
No, but I feel like you're my best friend.
In person. So Ditto. And our relationship has really been brought about by our introductions online, and being able to have a relationship and having things in common. And as such, like now, we're fortunate enough to be able to work together in the same team, to be able to share experiences, share ideas, and to be able to help other people to move forward. And you know, this was one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, to be able to work online, have my business from home, and be able to take care of my little boy, because as he's got older, of course, his needs have got greater. And of course, for many of my friends online who know, Nats is a very serious swimmer outside of school, and I spent half of my life smelling of chlorine, hanging around swimming pools, you know, for an average of 2 hours a night, which is a long period of time. And you know, if I was still working in a corporate environment, I'd be having to pay somebody to take Nat to his swimming 5 and 6 times a week, which would cost an absolute fortune. So not only have I now not got to pay for somebody else to do that, but I actually get to enjoy being with him, and I actually pass over them my skills to be able to coach and train other children as well. So it's got huge benefits, and has had huge benefits in our life. And I'm sure if I was to ask Nat what it means to him to have me standing out those school gates every night when he comes out, I'm sure the day's quite grumpy when he comes out. He probably wishes he'd not got me there, standing there for when to line to have his sweets and chocolate. But you know, generally, you know, he's pleased that I'm standing there to see him, and he's pleased that I do spend the time and enjoy the time with him that we have, and that we can share it as a family. So I would, you know, really say that it was the best decision I made. Tough at the time, really tough, because I'd only ever worked in the corporate field here in the UK.
Yeah,
and to break free of that and to become a loose woman, so to speak, it was tough, you know, not knowing what to do. But you know what the most important thing, Alison, about it was that, you know, what I did know was that I wanted to be a full-time mummy to Nat, and provide him with the parental care that I've always dreamed of giving a child. So that really was my reason why I needed to break out of the corporate world. And I didn't know how on earth I was going to do that, but I knew that because my why was strong enough to take care of that I would find a way. And that's exactly what I've done over a period of time, found a way to be able to do that.
But I think it's so sad that these ladies decide that they want to have children, and then they can only take 6, 9, 12 months off, and then they have to put them into nursery, so they miss out on all of that precious time with their children, because they've got to go to work to be able to afford to put them into nursery. It's a bit of an evil circle that you need to go to work to put them into nursery to be able to provide for them. And a lot of people feel that there's nothing else out there for them to do, that they have to be attached to that job. So what advice would you give to somebody, Jayne, that was probably looking at this now, who's probably thinking, I would love to do what Jayne's doing now, but how do I do it?
Well, I would say that I know exactly how you feel, because I used to feel as though I was stuck between a rock and a hard place. And you know, I used to think, I love the money, I love all the material things that go with the corporate job, you know, that make life so easy. So how on earth am I going to replace those without having the comfort of the pension, the medical care, the company car, all the perks that came with that, and the big salary? How am I going to replace that? But do you know what, at the end of the day, the thing that somebody once said to me is that children don't want your money, children want your time. Now obviously, in order for you to give them your time, you need to have the money to be able to go away and do nice things and stuff. But you know what, for you to spend half an hour with your child at the end of the day playing and just chilling and just having fun, that means more to a child than giving them £200 to go and buy a PlayStation 4 or whatever it is. You know, and it's your time that can never be replaced. You know, you can go 10 years down the line and throw money at your teenager because, you know, you failed to spend time with them in the early years. But to spend time with them in those early years is so important, because once those years are gone, once those early years are gone, you click your finger from the time they're born and they're at school. You know, I remember Nat's first day when he joined reception. You know, next year he's going to be leaving to go to secondary school. Where's the time gone? But, you know, the thing I'm most grateful for is the fact that I've been able to enjoy that time with him and enjoy that time that we've had and we are having with our family. So I would say no, it's not easy. You know, it's a challenge, but it goes back to this same old thing, and we talk about it in business a lot, goals, but your reason why you do something, if it's that strong, you will find a way, and the path may not be clear at first, but if you've got your why set in stone, as I had with Nat, my why with Nat was wanting to provide him with what I considered to be the absolute 200% in parental care, love and support, and that's what I've been able to achieve. But I didn't have a clue how I was going to do that, but I found a way to do it as I've gone along.
Yeah, and I think the key thing is you didn't give up. You didn't think, oh, this looks hard, it's not for me. You stuck at it, and you made it work for yourself as well. I mean, I'll talk a bit about my story of why I decided to do it. Is because I was running a business myself, but because of the economic climate, I wasn't earning enough money, and I found myself out that it found to be that I wasn't really paying myself anything, and people assume that because you've got a business that you've got lots of money, when in reality, when you're running a traditional business in the UK or the US or wherever you are, you're always the last to pay yourselves. So you're always the pauper of the business, and
yeah.
it came to the point where I was only just being able to cover bills, and did I have anything else left over? No. And then it was on to the next month to try and find the money to cover the next month's bills, and I'd just had enough. And my partner was actually having serious heart surgery, major heart surgery in August just gone, and I knew that it would hit us financially, so I knew that I had to do something. So if you're somebody that's got something that you know is coming up, that you've got a partner that's ill, and you're looking for a backup plan, then we would highly recommend online marketing to you, because we are living proof here. I had no previous network marketing experience. Me and Jayne are both from the same background. We would never have even touched on this. So I think we are living proof that it actually does work. And I think when you're at work, you get very frustrated by a boss telling you when you can have your holidays, how much they're going to pay you. They decide how much you're worth when you know you were worth a lot more. You work 10 times as hard for a boss and get no recognition whatsoever, and you're building their dream for them. Why would you want to go and build their dream for them and have maybe your children in a nursery and you missing out on all of that time? Or you want that freedom to be able to go and travel wherever you want. You might not have kids, you might not want kids, but to be able to travel and provide for you and your partner, you and your husband, your wife, whatever it may be, and you can give them whatever it is that they want. You don't have to be attached to a job. And how great would it be that you could retire your partner? And that is my aim, is to retire my partner, because he's got serious health condition and I don't want him working. I want him at home enjoying his life, and so that this can provide what we need for our life. So Jayne, since you've joined our team, how would you say that the support and training, have you learned a lot more, would you say, online? Has it been there for you openly, or have you been there, sat there thinking, I don't know what to do, and been a bit stuck? What would you say?
Oh God. You know, I really thought, first of all, when I made the decision that I was going to have my own home-based business and it was going to be an online business, I really thought I was going to find this really, really easy, because my background has always been in sales, and I have to say, when I first started this, it was an absolute categoric nightmare for me. In fact, it was one of the reasons why I almost quit, because I could see other people around me at the time really, really doing well with their businesses and really, really promoting their successes. And I thought, God, you know, what is I'm seemingly doing wrong here? And the bit that I was doing wrong was I was doing all of what we used to call conventional selling. So, you know, I used to do all the presentations to people, all the pitching and all the closing, and people were running an absolute mile. And I was ready for quitting, and the problem was I'd surrounded myself with people who were like me, who were probably from a sales background and who were trying too hard, and I was never convinced that this was the right way to actually have a successful business online. And then the turning point for me, and this is why working with people, your chosen people in your team, is so very, very important, was that I started following you, Alison, in the business that we were associated with at the time from a learning capacity. I started following you and knew that you were following and being mentored by somebody really, really hot in the industry, because a lot of the stuff you were doing, I could see you were getting instant results, and it was a far cry from this presenting, pitching and closing that various other different businesses recommend, which really online just is not something that I wanted to go down. And I saw how you were presenting yourself, and the thing for me was when I realised over Christmas I'd taken the trial for the business that we're in now, and I started to look at some of the things that you were doing and some of the things that John Michael and the team were doing. And you know what? It just sat exactly right on my moral compass, because this business of network marketing, and when you look at the true meaning of that, network marketing is to be enjoyed and loved by people who simply love to talk to people. And you know what? This really rang home with me yesterday, because I was talking to a guy who I've been speaking to online, I don't know, for about the last 10 days, 2 weeks, and you know, he wanted to join my business. Now, we didn't want to talk about business. In fact, we spoke about growing fruit and vegetables in the garden. Right now, how bizarre is that? You know, nothing to do. The fact that he's decided he wants to work with me is something he's decided he wants to do, and he's contacted me because he's made that decision. Now, he doesn't probably know at this moment in time what he's going to be involved in. You know, it could be, I don't know, Ann Summers underwear. Who knows? I mean, the point I'm trying to make. You know, the point I'm trying to make, though, is have you stopped crying? It's the relationship that we've built up and the common ground that we found. And, you know, and we spoke for probably, I don't know, 10-15 minutes about growing fruit, vegetables and gardens at home. We've got so much in common, and that was purely because we'd spent time building a relationship. You know, he'd done a little bit of research on where I'd been blogging about recently, so he knew all about the countryside that I was visiting, that I was living in. You know, he'd shown an interest in what I was doing, and vice versa. No, if anyone's asking, he's not a stalker or anything with kids like that. And this is somebody that's joined my business. And this is what's so great about network marketing, and this is so much that I've learned over the last few months since I've been working with you and working with the business, is that the simplicity of the business is overwhelming, really. You know, I think I certainly spent too many months before, and I know a lot of other people did as well, complicating a game of Snap, and it really is not difficult. If you have the ability, and people out there have the ability to be able to talk to people at the gym they go to, when they're socialising at a party or going out, at the school gates when you're picking children up. I'm sure nobody here actually stands at the school gates and ignores everybody around them. You know, if we have the ability to be able to communicate and talk to people, then there is no reason why you're not able to build a business using exactly those same skills. You know, your personality is your biggest and best asset that you can own. And all you need to do is use it, and use it to develop an absolutely fantastic business, and to be able to make friends with so many fantastic people around the world and help so many people around the world. And it's just so rewarding. So the training over the last few months, to be honest, it leaves me lost for words. I've been absolutely speechless, not just by the training, but by the support that this team has. And you know, I could have joined any team within the business, but, you know, I specifically chose this team because of the value that the people who are the leaders in the team actually put to the table and bring to the table, and encourage people and support people who want to take action and develop their business to move forward. So in answer to your question, the training and support is absolutely fantastic. It's absolutely magnificent. And you know what I find most rewarding as well? That other people who are members of other teams within the business are so commendable about our team,
Yeah.
and about what we're doing in our team, because we offer, as a team, so much value to new people coming on board, and really help them to get going and start to see the success of the business. And you know what? That is so rewarding to see, I feel.
Yeah, because it's our responsibility to make sure that that person is seeing results, because at the end of the day, they've been kind enough to join our business and have seen an asset in us, so it's our responsibility to give them something back in return. So We always make sure that our team members are not on their own, that they are partnered up with somebody that they can buddy up with, and we hold daily hangouts, daily training, just to make sure that everybody's comfortable. But following on from what you said, Jayne, it's completely true. People join people, and a lot of people go wrong in this business because they think it's all about selling and the benefits of the business, and the business does this and the business does that. You switch off the instant that you hear about the business because you think, this person's selling to me, you're boring me now. I'd rather hear about Jayne, I'd rather hear about a son's success that he's been having in swimming, that I'm going to let her explain, because this little boy is absolutely amazing, and I think it's because of the training that Jayne has given herself and invested in herself. It's rubbed off on her son, and her son is one of the most competitive people that I've ever seen, and I've only seen Jayne's posts of what she's been putting on, but he's an absolutely amazing little boy. But Jayne, you joined my business. I know that for a fact I did not sell to you. We were friends on Facebook, weren't we? Acquaintances,
Yeah.
and we used to chat, and
Yeah.
you just noticed that I had joined another business, and you asked if you could join my team because you'd seen what I'd been doing previously. There was no selling involved. So if you are watching this hangout now and you are struggling, you're wondering why you're not seeing results, take a hard look at what your strategy is and what you are doing, because I can guarantee 9 times out of 10 you're trying to sell to people and you're trying to push your business onto that person. I don't tell anybody about my business, and that is truth. I just go and make friends with people, and there's a certain way that I go and target people on Facebook, which is the training that we provide, and I go and make friends with people who've got the same interests as me, and we go and have a good chat. And then what I do on the end of that is I do attraction marketing on my Facebook wall, and what happens? People approach me, so then I then have permission to tell them about what it is that I do. And that is how simple it is. I think a lot of people do complicate this industry and do think that it's about selling. And I'm telling you now, the minute that you take the selling out of it, you will start to see results, and you will start to see good results. And I'm telling you now that me and Jayne probably do half the effort that a person who's trying to sell is doing, because we go and we have fun and we chat to people, and then we attract people with what we're doing with our team, and that is how simple it is. But once you're given the correct training, the correct mentoring, you will then have the light bulb moment of, oh, I know exactly what I've got to do now. So would you agree with that, Jayne?
Oh, I would definitely, and you know, it was quite. I remember when I had the light bulb moment. I found the moment actually quite frustrating, because, you know, I don't think by any means that I'm a dim person, but I couldn't understand why I'd failed to grasp the nettle months and months and months previously. However, you know, a lot of people don't grasp the nettle and until it's sort of blatantly put in front of them. And I think the thing that did it for me was the actual training. The training that we have is just so very, very simple that I think it resonates with more people than these sort of, you know, 4-6 hourly training webinars and sessions, and this ever increasing sort of being stuck education mode that, you know, I've seen the programs on before, you know, you and I have been in one of them, and, you know, everything is made to appear as though it's all very complicated, and also made to appear as though you've got to spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on solo ads and advertising, you know, that most people actually don't have. And it's just not so. You know, you can just so easily build a business in your team just using Facebook.
Yeah, I don't spend,
primarily.
my team don't spend a penny on advertising, not one penny. We teach the team how to build a team for free off social media, and it is so simple. Facebook alone has 1 billion users. So do you think that you could build yourself a team, a minimum team of 10 people, if we show you how to go and find a billion people? It's so simple when you know how, but it's the fact that you need to know how to do it to be able to succeed, because there's a lot of people that start off in this industry. They'll have somebody that says they're going to help them, they join, and then bang, you don't see that person, and you're left thinking, oh, what do I do? How do I approach people? Oh, I must sell. I see everybody else selling, so that must be what I need to do. And so they go down the route of all the other people that aren't successful in the industry, instead of thinking, how can they be completely different and stand out from the rest of the crowd? And that's what we teach you to do. And I think, Jayne, that's what you decided that you were going to do. I mean, from the other business that we've been involved in, the support is there, but you are told to spend hundreds of dollars on solo ads, on you name it, you'll be spending an absolute fortune. And let's face it, if you're starting out in this industry, you don't have the hundreds of dollars to invest in that business. You are starting from scratch. So if somebody can show you a strategy where you can do it for free, and it just takes your time up, and we're not talking hours and hours every day, we're talking a couple of hours a day, then that was what was more appealing to me, which is why I decided to do what I was doing.
I would say definitely, and I think, you know, when you're building your business, let's say, for example, we're talking about Facebook. If you're building your business using Facebook, and you're building your business with people who you've got a relationship with, you've got the relationship because you've got things in common with that person. So it's a bit like, you know, you wouldn't build a house on sand when there's absolutely nothing there, because the house would sink. You'd build it on good, solid, strong foundations. And, you know, spending hundreds and thousands of pounds on on solo ads and adverts are attracting people that you haven't got a clue who they are. You don't know if you're going to be able to get on with that person, to be able to coach that person and help that person. You don't even know whether actually they want to be coached and trained. So it seems to me that it's a lot of money to spend for very little reward, whereas this business, you're actually selecting your people who you're going to be working with day in and day out, and there are some people you're going to want to work with and some that you don't want to work with. But that's the beauty of this. You're only going to be attracting and having in your business like-minded people, like you, that you know that you're going to be able to get on with, and you'll know that you're going to be able to work with. And so you're going to have a sustainable long-term business, rather than just putting out loads and loads of fishing hooks and just see who comes back in and reeling in absolutely anybody, because you're never ever going to be able to grow your business on that basis, because you don't first think about the majority of people that you're in, and I guarantee you'll be spending your time with the wrong people.
Definitely, you'll just be on a hamster wheel, you know, recruit to replace that person, and that you won't get any further. So, like James says, you can choose with our strategy. You can choose who you work with, and we do reject people from the team because we want a certain type of person within our team, which is why our team is so successful. So we need to know that that person will get on with our team members, will do the tasks that they're told to do, and at the end of the day is going to enjoy being part of our team, because it's about you at the end of the day. If you're not successful, then we're not successful. You give us the commitment, we'll give you all of our time that you need, and that is how we work. And like Jayne said, with a solo ad, you spend hundreds of dollars on a solo ad. How do you know that you want to work with that person that's just signed up to your team? How do you know that they really do want to join an online business? How do you know that they're not going to be contacting you every 5 minutes for guidance on stuff that they should have been watching in tutorials, when you need that time to build your business and also be doing hangouts like this to support teams? So with the strategy we give you, you can choose whoever you want on your team, and we're not saying that we want somebody to sell to their family members, because that's completely not what it's about. We don't want you to lose your friends, we don't want you to lose your family. You can keep those, but we'll show you how to build your business. And predominantly we do it off Facebook, because there's 1 billion users per day, and if we can show somebody how to build an online business, get free from their boss, get spending their time with their children, going and buying a holiday and treating all of the family, being able to afford Christmas this year and not put it on the credit card, we can show you how to do it on Facebook. And this is what we wanted to get across, was the benefits of why it's a benefit to be doing an online business than going and working within a traditional job, because there's so many people out there who want to be free from the job, but they just don't know how to do it. And I think me and Jayne are proof that it works if you put yourself with the right team. So is there anything else you want to add, Jayne? Tell us about, right, I've got to ask this, tell everybody about your son and his story, because it's amazing.
Oh, little man. Well, you know, he learned to swim. He learned to swim 6 years ago. He learned to swim when he was 6, so that's only 3 years ago now. So 3 years ago, he learned to swim, and he was wearing those like armband type things, you know, around his arms to keep him afloat. And anyway, at the place where we used to go and have swimming lessons, they used to have these galas in there, you know, where they put all the lane markers out and have the electric scoreboard up there. And every single week he'd want to go in and they'd say, oh, you know, Mummy, one day I'm going to do that. I want to do some racing. So, okay, well, you know, we've got plenty of time for that. And anyway, one day within his swimming lessons, nearly a couple of years ago now, and somebody approached us and asked if Nat would like to go for a trial at the swimming club. So of course, Nat being Nat, jumped at it and was so excited. Does that mean I can go in for races? Does that mean I get to win medals and trophies? Whoa. So we went for the trial and he got in. And anyway, he had to train for a year before he was, you know, the legal age to swim. Competitions over here in the UK is 9. So he had to wait a year to start swimming, and he started to swim and he started picking up some medals and some trophies. And you know, he went from training once a week, and now we're up to 5/6 times a week now. And you know, the point I'm making here is that these children that are in competitive swimming, and Nat, when he goes off to his session, you know, he swims for an hour and a half to 2 hours most days. And you know, up and down a swimming pool. Now, they've got to be absolutely committed to what they're doing. Now, the thing that that I spoke to Nat about at the time when he first started with the City of Derby, I just read The Compound Effect by Darren Hardy, and Nat had said to me, well, how do I get from here to winning medals and trophies? And I said to him, you're going to have to spend hours in the pool, and you're going to have to swim thousands of meters in the pool to be able to get there, and you're going to have to perfect your stroke and everything. And over a period of time, he's increased his sessions from 1 to 2 a week to 3 a week, 4, 5, and 6 times. And the person that he is now is a far cry from where he was when he first started 3 years ago. And he was able to see, even at a very young age, that the more he practiced, so his swimming became a habit, the greater momentum he would pick up and the greater results he would see. And results, as far as Nat's concerned, is a medal and a trophy. And he knew over time that if he understood in his very simple little childlike way that if he put in the hours and he continued to train and he continued to practice, that he would start to see the results. Now, Nat has got a very, very big reason why, and you know what, as children, as adults, we really, really struggle to nail a reason why in our dream, but children, if you can recall back to your childhood, you would sit and probably daydream most days, and you'd always dream big. And he has a big dream, and that's that he would like to be in the Olympics. Well, no, he will say to people, I'm going to be in the Olympics in whatever year, I don't know, 2024. Now, do you know what? Whether that dream comes true or not, it doesn't matter. But that's what takes him every single day. That's what gets him out of bed at 6 o'clock on a Saturday morning to go training for 2 hours, when he could be lying in bed watching Jurassic Park, Merlin, whatever films that children, you know, would watch. But that's what gets him up at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's what sacrifices his whole Saturdays and Sundays sometimes, when all weekend he will be swimming in some competition somewhere, you know, because he's got this big reason why. And you know, we talk about surrounding ourselves with people who we wish to become, and he surrounds himself within his swimming world with ex-Olympian swimmers, you know, and he learns from those people and he trains with those people and he listens to those people intently. You know, he asks to see their Olympic medals, you know, because he's holding on to this dream, and whether it doesn't matter whether that comes good or not. The fact is, he's loving what he's doing, he's enjoying what he's doing. He's not quite sure what his plan is to get to the Olympics, but what he does know is that if he continues doing a bit of what he's been doing for the last 2 years or so, that he may or may not get there. As a parent, all I do is encourage him, and as long as he's enjoying himself and having fun, then that's great. But in a very simple way, the compound effect can work from a very, very early age, even with children, and there's no reason, just going back to business, that all this is really is making sure that what you're doing on a daily basis, it becomes habit forming. Once it becomes a habit, you build up the momentum, and once you build up the momentum, out of the funnel, the other end, at the bottom, will come the results. And that's how it works, whether you're working an online business, working an offline business, training to be in the Olympics, training for a marathon, whatever it may be. But what I would recommend actually is, if you haven't read that or you've not listened to the audio CDs, The Compound by Darren Harley is an absolute must-read. Alison's going to hold a copy up now. I know she is, aren't
No,
you?
can you see that I'm looking
You got a copy
for
there
it?
to hold up?
Hang on.
I can't see. I thought you were going to produce it there. I thought I might have one on the table actually. So I just wanted to just explain. There you go, the compound effect. It's an absolute must-have. I really wished, and I hope one day that he will come up with a child's version of that, because it does really work with children, and work in such a simple way. Yeah. So that's the swimming thing. So one day I'll do a hangout and where he can be on, and the way that he explains it in a very childlike way is fascinating. Yeah.
Oh, great. No, he's an inspiration. I love seeing all the updates of all the medals that he wins each week and everything that he's achieving. He seems an astounding little boy. But I think it's also what you've been learning through the training, which is starting to rub off on your son as well. And I think it's a high impact on your personal life as well. It's not just about business. It changes your personal life as well. It changes your view on life. And that's what I found with me, is I used to be quite highly strung and used to get upset by stuff, and now I just let things go with the flow. Everything happens for a reason, and you have to remember that in order to become successful you do have to make mistakes. We're not all perfect, we all make mistakes, and if you can handle that, then this type of business is for you. And if you are somebody that's watching now who is thinking, I'd love to see what it is that they're doing, but could I take a look inside? We actually have some good news for you. I know that I said that we're not going to sell, but we're not going to sell to you, because what we are able to offer you is a 7-day free trial into what it is, exactly what we do. And what we will offer is a one-to-one with you as well, where we get to find out about you, about what it is that you're trying to achieve, and we'll tell you if it's realistic and if we can help you. But what we're able to offer you is a 7-day free trial where we open our doors up and we say, this is what we do. You have access to all of the training, and if it is something that you want to go ahead with, then you continue with it. And if you did want to continue with it, I'm telling you now, it's not going to cost you hundreds of dollars like it would with solo ads. It's going to cost you $37 a month, which is what, about 20-something pounds a month, and that's it. That's to get all of your training, to be mentored, to be put into a correct team, and to be free from whatever it is that you want to be free, and to be able to achieve that why. So I hope that you've enjoyed this hangout. This is our first one. We're going to be doing them on a weekly basis, and the way that we want to do it is we want your feedback. We want your views of what you want us to talk about and what you want us to debate about. And if you'd like to appear on our panel here live, then we have no problems whatsoever with that, because we want to be able to have a debate of different views of what people think of the online business. So I hope that this has been informative for you and that it's helped. We've really enjoyed doing this hangout, and we'll be doing the next one next week at the same time, so next Tuesday at 12 o'clock. So any final thoughts, Jayne, before we go?
No, that's it. I was really looking forward to today, really looking forward to this sort of loose women concept type of conversation and chat, and I hope it's gone well. But yeah, I would say that anybody who's joined us today, if you've got any ideas, any inspiration, you know, let's just have just a general conversation, a general chat. It doesn't matter what type of business, what business that you're in. It's great to have lots of feedback and discussion, and let's just share experiences and ideas. You know, there's no right or wrong about this business, but there are better ways to do things, and why don't we all just glean from those and share them, and our lives a lot easier online, and our businesses will be a lot more, you know, smooth running. So, you know, let's just share those experiences.
Definitely.
And I look forward to next week.
Yeah, definitely. And if it was Jayne that shared the hangout with you, please get in contact with Jayne, and Jayne will show you a way to put promotional code in to get a 7-day free trial. If it wasn't myself, again, just contact myself or whoever else invited you to this hangout, and we look forward to seeing you next week. So thank you very much, everybody.